Hey, what's up, beautiful divine beings? Is your board marker Jack. I'm finally back on the solo conscious conversation episode. Did you miss me? I miss doing this. I've been thinking about it for a very long time, and I'll give you a life update. Not want to make a lot of excuses, but things been happening in different dimensions, pulling in different factors. But before I start, I just want to do a little bit of sage cleaning. Got some sage out here. I'm gonna burn it a little bit. Ooh, that's hot. Just to, introduce some good energy to this episode. It's all about the good vibes we bring here at Divicati. So, hey, that's the intention I'm setting. Very nice. You can see me doing this if you're on the YouTube video version. Also got my boy, my Buddha. And thank you to my boy Kawhi for buying me this. So, my Buddha's just chilling on the corner, bringing some good energy. And in this episode, I'm also trying something new. I have a deck of cards, angel deck. So at the end, I would do like a tarot and pull out one card and see what message the angel got for us. Okay, and we also got a little candle. If you know me, I love candle. Hashtag Andy knows. Okay, so anyways, I just really want to just jump into this conscious conversation. I got a couple of topics: judgment, ego, death, law of attraction, and also a little about investing. So that's just the agenda I have set for today. And as you know, this kind of conversation, today, Sunday, also my reflection day, kind of just, go with the flow, and whatever needs to be let out will be let out here. So I'll just start out with some life updates. So thank you for listening, spending some time with me, and hopefully this would be a relaxing, high conscious awareness, reflecting lesson for you. And right now, what's been popping in my life, a couple big things. One is I'm moving my house, so a lot of cleanup. As if you look at all the books, if you're looking at the video version, all the books have been gone. So just been dealing with that. That's a big move for our family to sell the house, and we're moving, so that's one big thing. And the second thing that I'm learning, because we sold the house, also need to learn how to allocate that money. So I've been learning a lot about investing and wealth preservation for the long term, and just helping my family out. I'm trying to say, because I got to be the man of the family in that aspect. So there's a quite a bigger responsibility for me to do a good job there. So apart from running Divicati and do my day-to-day, obviously the financial education part is a good, sorry, it's the sage got to me, and I got a little bit high from that. So it is one of the major focus for me. But you know what, it's a good thing that I have a little bit of foundation prior to this situation that I need to be a little bit more leading and help out my family. So that's why personal development and that prep work is so important, because you never know when you need it. So I feel just way more confident. By the way, a really good book, I guess we can start off with with the investment side, is that a really good book to start off, if you are crazy, if you don't know anything about investing, would be Unshakable or Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins. That book really introduced me to like a couple key terms. Okay, I'm gonna give you the key terms. And one, he talked about ETFs, which are basically just like one stock that you can buy, and it encompasses a lot of different stocks within that one stock. So there's the S&P 500 index ETF, which means that the top 500 companies would be in that one bundle. So that is like buying the market and buying the big time trend. And if you don't know anything and you don't know what to buy, buying that has historically performed around 7.5%. And those, just buying the indexes and the ETFs is actually way better than just buying investing into mutual funds, because with mutual funds, you guys got to remember that the fee, even at 1%, is very high. with ETFs, like if you can buy a Vanguard ETF, the expense ratio, is somewhere between, 0.05 to 0.01. So, 10 times to 20 times cheaper. And so that's the ETF. That's one key term y'all can look into. Next, I think is a very important key term is also asset allocation. And what that means is there's a lot of different asset classes, meaning there's a lot of different products that you can buy into. For example, there's stocks, there are bond, there's gold, there's precious metals, right? Gold, silver, there's cryptocurrencies, there's real estate, there is land, there is businesses that you can buy, there's startup, there's so many different ways of investing. And sometimes when we talk about investing, we talk about which stocks to buy, but that's only just one part of that's only one asset class, right? So a lot of people don't think about the whole investment portfolio, which is very important. And if you want to understand, okay, what's a good portfolio, you can kind of understand and reference All Weather Portfolio by Ray Dalio. You can look into that. It's a very stable portfolio, but I would probably advise you guys not to buy bonds at the moment. By the way, all the financial advice that I give, I guess it's just my opinion. Do your own research. This is just my opinion. But check out Ray Dalio's All Weather. If you have no clue where to start out, that could be a cool one to look into. There's also this book called A Random Walk Down in Wall Street that I found also quite practical and quite insightful. And that's what you want to know, asset allocation. So what's the percentage that you would put in each asset allocation? And so do your own research, see what fits for you, and obviously whatever life stage you're in, that asset allocation will be different. If you're younger, more risky, etc. So that's just kind of like the investment side that I'm learning more of. And obviously there's a lot of little nuances, like for example I'm currently doing around 30 to 40% stocks in my asset allocation, and within that 40%, 30 to 40%, I also like divided, like 10% would only about be growth stocks I'll choose individually, and then like 20% would be emerging markets, so outside of the United States, in upcoming markets. 20% would be in developed markets, and then the rest would be on the S&P. So it's like there's a lot of little things that you can tweak and you can see what works for you. But something that Ray Dalio recently said, that you guys gotta be diversified in all different asset classes, in all different industries, in all different currencies, because in investing right now there is also just a kind of the most riskiest thing, one of the most riskiest thing to hold as cash at the moment, because of just a financial currency system where a lot of the money that we hold, we call it money, the paper money, it's actually not really backed by anything. It's just backed by trust, because we used to be on a gold standard where our money was actually money because it was backed by gold. But once that gold standard broke in, I believe is 1971, and money became currency because it's just backed by trust. So right now with the whole pandemic situation, there's just a lot of, or I'll say right now with just the global situation right now, there's actually of that, man, what I'm trying to say, like if I say pandemic, like I'll get censored in YouTube. That's BS, man. I'll just say pandemic, whatever. No fucks given there, man. I don't know, maybe it's bad for the algorithm. So that's just a crazy thing, man. YouTube, like been censoring people based on what they say. Dude, that's like low-key dictatorship, man. Like, where's the freedom of speech at? Like just with the whole COVID situation right now, that it just shows you that there's a little bit iffy with YouTube and their censorship and what they allow, and just all that. I'm going off a tangent, but basically what I'm trying to say is that right now with this whole COVID situation, they're just building a lot of they're printing a lot of money, and so the money that you saved up in your bank account, or how much whatever that you have, that's losing value every single day. And that's why right now, what I'm really a big student of is actually how to, like, basically the monetary system in the past, and how has that worked out, and what are some of the asset classes that I can get into to protect myself so that I preserve the wealth that I created through my job or my business. And there's two things there's a couple things, like, just one of the things is go back to hard assets, so physical assets that you can hold. So whether that's like your coffee beans, or your your artwork, or a land, that's great, but that's probably a little bit harder for people to understand and know, to get access to. But a great one, I think, so far right now is precious metals, gold and silver. And if you are my friends, if you're my homies, I've been advocating about this for around, like, a couple months now, at least almost like 6 to 9 months. I've been saying, hey guys, buy some gold, buy some silver. If you can't afford gold, silver is at a pretty good price. And I can show you guys, if you are watching on YouTube, I just have like a nice little Canadian bar right here. Also got this Britannia coin, right? Nice silver coin. Also recently got this Canadian pig, right? This is ½ ounce. So the reason why I still have more of my stack, but this is just part of my collection, is the reason why is because you never know when inflation's gonna hit, and so, like, a little part of that money that you have allocated towards just precious metals in general is a safe bet to make sure that your purchasing power would not be reduced over time. And with silver, a great thing about silver is also there's the precious metal demand side, but also the commercial demand side. A lot, the commercial demand is increasing year by year. So silver has a really good case for it, a very bullish case for it. I actually spoke to Roy. He's one of the person here in MacLeod that owns like a big store that sells precious metals. I believe they're the sole retailer in MacLeod that sells country recognized precious metals. And I basically was super grateful and lucky to have a sit down one-on-one conversation with him for like an hour and just ask him about his experience and how he came about creating this precious metal store. And he said that if he was 20 something years old, he would also be bullish on silver and sit 100% on silver in his whole asset class allocation and his whole portfolio. I personally wouldn't do that, but he said that he knows, he has some insider information to know that it's very bullish for silver. So you know what, I need to do a little bit more research on the industrial demand side, but I think 10-20% is what I'm doing right now in just the precious metal side. I think that's a really good, I guess a hedge. And then some people, like, I know part of my mastermind, I have this group where I Skype up my homies from London, Kenya, and also South Africa. And part of that mastermind group, all of them have businesses, and some of them prefer cryptocurrencies over precious metals to hedge against inflation. And I think cryptocurrencies is also a good play. Bitcoin, Ethereum in particular, I think it's the more mainstream safe bets. Yeah, I right now my asset allocation there is around 5%. So you do your own research. Again, this is only what I'm doing. I'm not like a financial fund manager. I'm just sharing like what am I thinking, what am I doing, and see how it all plays out. I've been in the crypto space around since 2017, so I've seen it fluctuate up and down a lot. Dropping 20%, going up 20%. And I remember when, back in that bullish days, when it was like going super fast, I remember just waking up every day and seeing my crypto account going, like, increasing by like thousands of dollars. And so I'm just sharing that story for you guys to understand that if you want to invest in crypto, you got to be a little bit more risky, have a risk appetite to it, and don't be so afraid of that volatility. Okay. Whew. How you guys feeling about this precious metal investing side? This is the first time I openly spoke about it, but I think it's really important to be aware of these things. And if you want to understand precious metals a little bit more, I think The Hidden Secrets of Money is a great like YouTube free documentary series that will, guide you in a more in-depth understanding of why precious metal is so important for your portfolio. And yeah, Kitco News is also a good one. Real Vision Finance, also a good resource. Money GPS is also a good resource that I like. They're all on YouTube. You can check them out. And so yeah, that's just basically my little spiel on the investment side of things. And let me just go back to that personal growth and personal spiritual growth. But this is also important. This is some woke stuff, because we gotta protect our family. We gotta understand what we gotta do, so that we're not the people that are behind. And because especially with this financial situation, when people wake up, when the mass wake up, it's like, oh shoot, I need to get some precious metals. It's gonna be a long line. There's gonna be a big shortage in it, and so you gotta again make some moves before the many do. Because when a lot of people understand this, it's very obvious that they should have money, I guess, invested in places that would, again, the hard assets, right, that would keep value, store value, hedge against inflation, the money, devaluation, all that good stuff or bad stuff. So anyways, I don't want to claim I'm an expert at this subject as well, but I hope it has been helpful. And yeah, just don't procrastinate on this. Do your own research. And yeah, let me just jump right into the personal growth side of things, because that's more of my expertise, and I just want to speak about kind of what I've been doing. So first of all, I've also recently hired a coach, a life coach, and that has helped me, a little bit. I would say the start is not as smooth as I thought it would be, but we're just 3 sessions in, and the last session was particularly interesting because we spoke about this concept of me being very judgy. And this is really raw, because I want to create a loving world, right? That's part of my mission, part of my purpose. Spread more love, help people like experience that purpose. When they wake up, they're like, yeah, I want to live this life. I'm passionate. But I find myself in my head to not spread that love, not spread that energy, especially with my helper, Baby. Shout out to Baby. She's been working for my family for so many years. I spoke about her on my last solo episode, I believe, as well. I just find myself to be very annoyed with her, and I don't know why, right? And so right now, what I've been working on is to make sure that I don't judge people as much. Like, for example, when I'm walking down the street, I'm not judging people based on their looks. And when I dig deeper into why I judge, my coach pointed out, is because I'm fearful that I'll be like that person. So in order for me to not be like that person, I judge them. For example, I don't want to be fat, right? Deep down, I'm afraid to be fat. So I judge people, laugh at them that they're fat. So I would have like this motivation to prevent me from being this person, right? Being this fat person. So right now, I'm very conscious that I judge people. Prior to the coaching conversation, probably like every single day I make, probably dozens of judges. It's crazy. And right now, instead of judging, what I'm replacing that by is just that energy where I'm observing, where I am just, observing and appreciating who they are, and just not putting a label, but just seeing, oh, it's just, a fat person, right? But not saying it's like good or bad or whatever, or or making like, oh, that guy must be lazy, or he must eat too much, or XYZ, right? But just like, hey, this is this guy, this is the way he looks, cool. And a layer deeper is to also wrap that up with a little bit more compassion, which is understanding plus love. Like, okay, coming from, okay, maybe how can I help this guy lose a little bit of weight, or how can I, just spread some good vibes to him, something simple like that. So that's what I've been understanding, is just less judgment, and this has been help rise my own vibration, because the less I judge other people, the more comfortable I am with other people, and the more authentic I can be around other people. And for example, when I'm just walking down a restaurant, before I'll peep into the restaurant, I'll be like, oh, like, look at these people eating with this demeanor, and I'll, like, judge them in my head. But now what happens is I'll just say, hey, good morning everybody, spread some good vibes, and all of a sudden my whole physical body feels that vibration. I can feel, like, the sensation, the tingles in my body. So I feel good. And something simple, like, before I leave my house, with my helper, I'll say, hey, have a nice day, good morning. When I enter my office building, I'll say, hey, to the security guard, like, hey, good morning, something simple like that. So I just, spread that good energy from the inside out to other people. And crazy enough, just by not judging other people, when I catch eyes with other people, right, I feel more comfortable, because used to be a lot of these, like, noises in my head, but now I just take a deep breath, and it's almost like a meditative state where it's completely blank, and I'm just, like, sharing my presence with the other person, right? And when I brought this presence, like, at the club, like 2 days ago, I realized that before, with the club is really, really interesting, because sometimes, I go in with different states, like with different mindsets. Sometimes we're like, oh, I want to get with someone kind of mindset. Sometimes about sharing the vibe with other people, and I can see myself having more fun when I'm in that present, non-attached, sharing, non-judgmental, no expectation vibe, and just vibing with my own soul and my good energy. I just know that people find me more attractive. I just know that I also have a better time. And it's crazy, like, these things are not really talked about, but it can instantly improve your quality of life just like that. So yeah, being less judgmental, I think it's a great thing that I'm working, and also softens the ego a little bit. And like, you don't have to constantly compare and feel like I have to be better than other people to get that internal validation. So it's a great little thing that I'm working on, and I it will yield a lot of benefits from that. So yeah, I just want to talk about that in terms of judgment. All right, so a great little, by the way, how's everybody feeling? Maybe let me just do a little water, and then you can kind of digest what I've said. Okay. Okay, I need to slow down a little bit as well. Don't want to go like 50 hours a mile. This is the podcast, what I'm trying to say. We can take it whatever direction we wanna. Yeah, by the way, hope everyone's doing good. 2020 it's coming to an end, crazy, time flies, man, time flies. So just gotta appreciate it. So much to be grateful for, man. So much to be grateful for. Although, your life might not be going 100% the way that you want it to be, man, there's so much that we could be grateful for right now. Just want to talk about a recent experience that happened to me, actually, like, just yesterday. So this was very fresh, but this is one of the most profound experiences I have in my life, one of them. And basically what happened was, I was meditating, and I won't share the full story, because there's some things that, are a little bit sensitive to share. But basically, I want to be as honest, right? So, as possible. But I'll maybe share the full story some of the time. But this is good enough. You kind of get the gist. And just what happened was, I was just meditating, and in this meditation, it was so deep, so deep. And what happened was, I was meditating, and if you know about meditation and you know about the chakras, right, there's different chakras in our body, and there's one called the crown chakra, which is on the top of your head, and there's a third eye chakra, which is in your forehead, and there's your heart chakra, throat chakra, etc., right? So if you meditate, you know that you can feel these chakras. So it's not like a theory. You can actually feel it sensationally. And when I was in this meditation, it was so deep that I really felt that my my crown chakra was really firing it up, really activated. And I felt my brain like crazy. I can feel every synapses. I can feel the energy and the flow in my brain. I can feel kind of like all the muscles in my brain, in my body. And I was like trying to relax my shoulders because I got some shoulder injury, and I was trying to like really send some good energy to it. I can feel like every fiber, right? So I was really in tune. All my awareness was inside me. And what happened was I was getting so deep into it, and I don't know why at one moment I was like, oh, hey God, like God was like asking if I was ready to die. And I was trying to let go. Basically, I was trying to let go. I was so up there. I was like at this point where it's like, oh my God, I don't know why I had all these thoughts. It was like a lot of crazy thoughts. And I was like, okay, yo, I just gotta let go. And as I let go, I went even deeper into like every time I let go a little bit, I went deeper into the meditation. But every time I let go, it seems like I was about to die. It seemed like I was like, yo, this is the end. This is the end of my life. Actually, this whole universe, this whole like matrix, this whole simulation, whatever, right? All the things that I know, my family, the plant, the iPhone, whatever, right? My business, it's all just kind of like there. But you know, if you're ready to go, if you're ready to let go, you're okay of leaving all these things and just like dying. And that thought came into my mind. I was like so scared. I was trying to hold on, but like at one point I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna let go. Like if like I gotta trust God, like just God, like basically God take the wheel, Jesus take the wheel, whatever, right? And I was like, okay, fuck it, let me let go. Let me thank my mom. Thank you, I'm about to die. Okay, this is the end. And as I let go, I was like, just went super deep into it. But at that one point, I was like, shit, I'm now that I know that this is like exist, I don't want to die yet. I want to like come back into this life with this insight about you can actually die, and want to spread that kind of awareness to the world, right? And so as I decided to came back, because I feel like, you know, I haven't enjoyed my life fully yet. I haven't had, you know, the amazing sex or the girlfriend that I want to have, or, you know, the business I want to manifest and create. So I was like, hey, let me come back real quick. And so I did. So I don't know what that experience was. Maybe it's ego death. I didn't fully let go, but I feel like that's sort of like the experience that you'll have maybe perhaps when you do DMT. If you don't know DMT is just like a chemical where you smoke it. You can secrete it from a toad or some plants, right? And when you smoke it, like your whole consciousness kind of leaves your body, and you kind of break into this, you know, dimension. It seems to me, you know, that's what ego death would feel like. You're trying to hold on to like an identity. You don't want to die, but then you're not really that. You're just more the awareness. And when I was just like letting go, I felt that I was just like this stillness in a sense, and, you know, very at ease. And so what I'm trying to understand, why I'm sharing this, is because I feel like this is what they talk about, you know, the ego. And if I'm afraid to die, you know, in this state, and just fully let go, you know, how much of me is not letting go and not trusting in my conscious day-to-day life. And I feel like letting go and allowing and trusting has been a major theme in my life, where I'm trying to understand and trying to really internalize. Just, you know, as I've mentioned before in my businesses, you know, my podcast, where I feel like I'm not manifesting the abundance that I'm looking for, or, you know, things are not looking at smooth, or I feel stuck or depressed or stressed. But that's just an attachment to an expectation, but that my ego wants. And my ego is, you know, operating a lot on fear, that like, I need to do this, like I need to attain this in order for me to feel safe, and I don't want to die. So it's like, I'm saying it's like in my day-to-day lives, you know, like maybe the whole experience I shared is not very applicable, but how can it be applicable to our day-to-day life? It's like, how much are you letting go? How much are you trusting the universe, this God, to take care of you and to really live with no fear? That's the motherfucking juice right there, because we, like, so much of our decisions and our energy is coming from fear and lack, and I know that I'm trying to train myself to tune into the vibration of love, abundance, and trusting and letting go, and making those decisions from that quality state. And I feel like, you know, if we can live our lives from that love, there's just so much more that we can do. It feels more expansive, like we can focus our attention in the realm of what's possible instead of what is lacking. You know, just that distinction is so important. And so that's also one thing I've been working on with my coach with, you know, the judgmental thing, yes, but how can I base more of my decisions on love instead of fear? And, you know, letting go, I feel like would soften the ego, right? And I feel like Aaron Doughty, he's a pretty good, you know, spiritual YouTube channel. You know, I learned a lot from him. He said that, you know, the less ego you become, the more spirit that you'll become. So I feel like, you know, when we can soften our ego, then we can understand the inner divine being that we are. Hence Divicati, right? Divicati's name is divine being. So we want to help people understand that we're not just this physical body, but this spiritual embodiment as well. And with just the theories itself, you know, there's so many things out there where I still don't understand, you know, like the path to enlightenment. I still need to do a little bit more research on that. However, when you talk about experiences like this, you know, it's, you know, people, it's irrefutable, right? Like, you can't argue with me about what exists or not, because that's the experience I have. So I'm a big advocate on not like just dwelling on theories, but actually experiencing it. And that's why, like, psychedelics are super awesome, in my opinion. I feel like meditation or whatever practice that you have that helps you, elevates you, puts you in a good vibrational state is amazing. Also, eating high vibrational foods, hence why I'm eating less meat nowadays. And when I do, like, when I eat less meat, right? Today I had like a pretty heavy meal, but I didn't feel sleepy at all because it was all like no meat base. I had a little bit of like that, was it Impossible, like sausage in there, all plant-based, and they just filled me pretty good. So yeah, I'm just saying, like, going back to the topic, just gotta, I guess what I'm trying to say is just like, yeah, if I have to synthesize it down, let go, trust, focus on what we want, focus on the vision, focus on all the details that you want to happen, be in the realm of what's possible, you know, ask what you like, you know, be less judgmental, you know, all these, you know, cliche things that is obviously nice to know, and but it's about the inner stand and the inner internalization where would really help elevate us. And by the way, there's a little bit of law of attraction stuff in there as well, and that's because I've recently revisited the book Ask and It's Given by, you know, Jerry and Esther Hicks, and it's really good. It's a more in-depth understanding on law of attraction. If you read the book, perhaps The Secret, or watch documentary, or you understand, or you read the book Think and Grow Rich, I feel like this adds another dimension to it. This adds another dimension in terms of actually, one of the things that they talk about is feeling as if, you know, like there's, you know, with law of attraction, it's focus a lot on changing your thoughts to be in the same vibrational alignment with what you want to attract. So it's like focusing on what you want instead of what you don't want, right? Where focus goes, energy flows. Like, that's obviously great. However, not a lot of people talk about the feeling. So it's like, if you want to become a startup CEO, then feel as if you're that, like, startup CEO who's successful. If you want to manifest a great relationship, a loving relationship, feel as if you're already in that great relationship, right? And how you can do that, I think visualization helps. I feel like it's also just shifting your consciousness in a way. I don't know, for me, it comes quite natural in terms of like knowing how to do that. Okay, it's like, take a nice deep breath. Okay, I'm abundant now. Or like perhaps like a mantra that you can say to yourself. And or like imagining, right? Like like for example, if you want to attract like a really good relationship, imagine that as you're walking down the street or in your car, there's that perfect girlfriend or boyfriend sitting next to you. So it's like these are some of the things that I have tried, and I feel like it puts me in a high vibrational state. So when you are in a high vibrational state, what that does is it puts you in the same vibrational alignment with whatever you want to attract. So you can see yourself as the like radio signal, receiver, right? And you want to get, the radio signal at FM 88.8. But if you're tuning at like FM 88.7, even just that small difference, you're not able to receive that 88.8 message, right? That signal. So our job is to tune ourselves into the same vibrational alignment with what we want to attract, and obviously ask for it as well. Hence, the book Ask and It's Given. But in between the ask and it's given part, there's a state of like allowing and being, and also just constantly making sure that we channel our thoughts into the direction that we want to have, and the vision that we want, right, for a sustainable period of time. Because if you always change direction, like, hey, you want this and then you want that, then it's like the universe is not really clear on what you really want if you're not clear on what you really want, or what to give you if you're not clear on what you really want. So for me, how I've been applying this is encouraging myself to be a quite negative person in my day-to-day life. I think this is shout out to my boy Ray. I feel like I remember he shared the stats to me. It's like everyone has 50k thoughts a day, and within that 50k thoughts, 90% of our thoughts are recurring thoughts, and I believe maybe 90% of the recurring thoughts are negative thoughts. And so if like there's a lot of negative thoughts in one's lives basically, and so we gotta understand how can we outwit that devil or outwit that demon, which is another book by Napoleon Hill where he talked about exactly this point. How can we shift our awareness into the more conscious light, our truer self, or higher divine being, instead of this demon that's always trying to like suck awareness. Well, when I say demon, I just mean about this negative energy. So don't be scared about it. It's all Gucci. But we're neither our negative thoughts or positive thoughts. We're more of that awareness of our thoughts. So, oh man, like I wish they taught this at school. Like, if you understand how to channel your thoughts, oh, that's like a super powerful ability, and that comes with the meditation practice. And so, yeah. Anyways, where was I? I was talking about. By the way, I love the ability to just like remember thoughts and kind of go on tangent, come back to it. I feel like that's a real skill that I'm trying to develop more. But I was basically talking about I have a lot of these negative thoughts, and in like when I'm alone and when I'm like kind of relaxed, these negative thoughts will creep in. Like, hey, again, like the whole Marco thing, and based on fear, and like the situation that I am in is not perfect to what I want it to be. And when I give attention to that, it never goes well. So now I'm catching myself, hey, hold on a minute, let me just focus on what I can do, what I want to do, what I should do, and like kind of what I have to do, right? But like I spend most of my time in the what I want to do realm, and because it's so free, right? Me being an entrepreneur, there's so many different options, there's so many different directions I can like go into. And so you know, I can host an event, I can do this podcast, I can make another YouTube video, I can like do Facebook ads, I can improve my website. There's just so much things to do, but like what feels good to me, what feels authentic to me, that's the emotional guidance system that's telling me, hey, like this is what you should be doing more often. And so it's like, yeah, like me, you don't come jump in on this podcast sharing these like thoughts because there was just this feeling of like, hey, I want to jump on and just share what I've been learning and how's my life been. And so let me put it this way. When we are alone and our mind is just like not really doing much, and maybe we're just scrolling through our Instagram and feeling a little bit bored or demotivated or worrying or negative, whatever, right? When we are in that state, let's challenge ourselves to focus on what we want in our lives and feel that deliciousness of our vision and get excited and feel as if what we envision, what we want is already happening, and it will happen, and you're gonna make it happen, and you know you have the ability to do that, and that's the what, you know, I believe Esther Hicks says, the grid work, you know, that's the filling in the details and making it like real nice and real concrete in a way where you at least know what to do and what's the next step, and you can get really excited about your vision. And so that's just a very good little space to put yourself in, because at that state you're imaginative, you're creative, you're open, there's possibilities, and you're like little children again. And we're not in this state where like all about worrying, fear, what if it doesn't happen, or what if I create an event, no one comes, blah 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 blah, right? But right now I've ideas of like creating a really nice event, a workshop about purpose locally here in Macau, as well as, you know, doing a group meditation event, you know. But like my mind creeps in like, oh, what if no one comes? Oh, what if right? But that's a skill to make sure that you don't tune into that. Like, what if it's too hard? What if it's not possible? What if you fail? So what? Like fail. Like fuck it. Like what's the worst thing that could happen? I make it. I fuck up. No one comes. Cool. I accept that shit. Fine. And now, like we're channeling our goody, juicy, precious energy into this realm where it's like, okay, what do I want? Like let's forget the doubts a little bit. Like what would be really cool if it happened? What would I really want to make happen? How would I want to feel? How would it look like? That's a way higher consciousness, elevated energy. And so that's where, like, if we want to manifest more, that's exactly where we gotta focus more of our attention and time and energy instead of this space. Because here it's like, oh, let me just act quick. It's more like that Kevin Hart energy, you know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, damn, so much energy was wasted here, man. But that's the thing. Even with like creating this podcast right now, I'm enjoying it. I'm in flow. But in my mind, I was like, oh, fuck, what if no one watches it? Like, there's still part of me that's like, oh, is this stupid? Like, what if... But it's even more stupid to give that voice a thought. Because what the fuck do you offer, man? Instead of, like, bitching around here, man. You're just bitching around here. What the fuck do you have to offer? Right? You're just making... So it's like... Asking a how question is also very important, because one thing I realized is also, you know, there's a saying I believe is like the quality of your questions determine the quality of your life, and I feel like that's really valid, because if you can ask quality questions, that means you're directing your mind in a very productive and serving state for you. So if my negative voice, hey, if you're really fearful, instead of doubt, why not you ask, how can we fucking make it happen? Instead of you know, like getting all the energy, why don't you ask, how can we make it happen? How can we make it a good event so that people do come? See, that's a trick that your mind fucks with you, man. And we gotta be very conscious of like where we're feeding the energy. Maybe that's like, that negative energy in the conscious collective consciousness, right? Because we're all, transmitter and receiver of ideas and energy. And so you gotta be, really, that's why we got the sage. That's why we burn some sage, get that good vibes in. And that's why we gotta understand our environment well. But it also could just be like a trauma that we have, or a certain, a certain repetitive thought or a belief, a story that we made up. And so releasing that thing, really get into the root cause of why we think a certain way. A really good framework to develop is like, okay, here, what's your negative thought? And it's like, what are some related negative thoughts? And then when did that first thought occur? What are some of the triggers? Another one is like, what do you have to believe in order for this thought to happen? And then you ask yourself, what new belief can I come up with, so that some new belief that you want to develop, right? And then based on that new belief, you can develop a mantra. So and whenever that negative thought comes up, right, you can repeat this mantra, and so that you channel your awareness into this thought instead of that energy sucking unproductive thought. And so for me, like, come up with a daily mantra is also very important. Again, if it's a bit too jumpy for you, sorry, I tend to like go from this thought to this thought, but hopefully it all relates, hopefully it all connects for you. But one thing I've also been doing in my life is coming with a daily mantra. And this happened first when I was like in Saturday. I was like having fun with my boys, but I always think about work, right? When I'm like, I'm not very present. So I was like, hey, you know what can I do? Oh, what's the mantra of the day? Oh, the mantra of the day is just to have fun. So on that day, for example, hey, do you want to go drink? Hey, do you want to go to the club? Hey, should we go here? Like, all my decision was just filtered through this mantra. It's like, oh, yeah, it's about having fun. Yes, let's go. And then so it just helped me make decisions. But you don't need to have a mantra for a day. You can have mantra for specific situations. For example, if you have just a thought that always sucks you out, right? I have a mantra right now. It's like, hey, let's do this. I can do this. Simple as that. So it's like, whenever an idea, the thought comes in, let's do this, we can do this, I can do this. So I can do this. Just simple, I can do this, we can do this, I'll figure it out. We'll find a way to make it happen. Just these related thoughts, just high vibe, man, high vibe. So that's what has been really helping me. And I feel like just channeling our mind into this more loving, creative state for a longer period of time, obviously combined with action, would lead us somewhere. All right, so man, hope you got the juice from this video. I guess this so far, we're not done yet. Let me see what I want to channel or anything that comes to mind. Sorry, I've been sitting cross-legged on my chair, so just releasing that right now. We got Buddha chilling. Oh yeah, my boy Kawhi was like, hey, you know what, like, it's important to put a little bit of that Buddha statue in our home, so that it's a nice protective energy. And I agree. I think I'm gonna get some nice ornaments that has Buddha. I was like, you know what, why not also Jesus? Why not also like other like Shiva or whatever, right? Like, I'm sure they're all vibe together. Like, so for me, it's this ridiculous thing where it's like, oh, one religion versus the other. Like, Jesus was not even a Christian, man. And I believe like Buddha said that, he doesn't advocate, I believe, for to worship someone to reach enlightenment. It's about that inner practice in order to reach enlightenment, not like putting our power externally. But like, a lot of people, they worship Buddha, but they don't even meditate. So like, did you understand his teachings though? to the fullest. So I'm just saying, like, you know, if we can create like a nice little circle of these nice, you know, decoration ornaments of Buddha, Jesus, all these, you know, different saints sitting together in this nice little circle, ooh, that would be a crazy mastermind, guys. And oh yeah, funny enough, like, speaking about Buddha and Jesus, I remember watching this video on like ayahuasca about from spirit science, and how this guy tried ayahuasca, and when he got into another dimension, he was like partying in heaven with Buddha and Jesus, man. So it's crazy, man. I want to try ayahuasca sometime. It'll happen when it needs to happen. So yeah, let's see anything I want to say. So far so good. Let's let my subconscious mind work, and now let's relax with a little bit of that messages from your angels, oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. All right, so it's been a while since I've tried this deck, and then let's just see. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pick one card, and then I'll say, hey, you know, what's a message that would really benefit the listeners that's listening to this very conscious conversations. All right, for me, okay, we got one. Ooh, ho, ho, ho. That's funny. We got Francesca. We got Angel Francesca. And it's funny because the card literally says, let me just show the card. The card literally says, what do you desire right now? Visualize it and it would come about. Negativity would block your progress. That is exactly what we've just been talking about, guys. Oh my goodness, that is crazy. That's funny. So with oracle cards, like, you know, tarot, I've done it, you know, on myself quite a bit, and I get value from it. I don't do it very often. I do it maybe once every like 3 weeks or something like that. And I feel like, you know, when I'm very highly conscious, when I meditate well, when I set my intention, when I set, you know, the space well, you know, I get good cards. I get pretty accurate cards. And, you know, I know that it's also very important to give back and also to do it for other people. That's why, you know, I felt, you know, the feeling to do this as well on this show for you guys. And I got a booklet, so let me just go into the booklet and see what Francesca has more for us. Okay, let's see. Angel Francesca. Okay. So additional message. You have been asking God and the angels, what is next for me? Yet, we have been waiting for you to make that decision for yourself. Okay. Alright. That is why you have felt stuck lately. This impasses occur because you are afraid of making a wrong decision. We can help you to decide, but ultimately, the next chapter of life is up to you. This is a period of your life that is unscripted. Wow. Dude, that's crazy, because I've literally asked myself, like, as I mentioned, as an entrepreneur, there's so many different routes that I could take. Like, one thing I'm also doing right now, to give you guys a little bit more of my life update, I'm also starting the startup aspect of Divicati as well. So I provide pure coaching right now, yeah? But, you know, I like the service. I like my coaching that I provide. But I feel like it doesn't utilize all my strengths and my skill sets. I see myself more of an entrepreneur and a startup founder in the long run, as well as a content creator. I'll still do some coaching on the side, maybe doing some like retreats that I facilitate, or you know, just a little coaching practice that I have on the side for a few clients, right? And so I guess there's so many direction. There's so, even with the startup that I would create, there's so many different ideas, and I guess I've been trying to find this like right thing to do. This like, oh, this aligns with my soul purpose, or like the reason why I'm here on this earth. And you know, this card just makes me realize that it's not really about like maybe being perfect and like what you choose right now. You know, you will always pivot. You will always, as long as you are listening to your internal compass, your heart, you would have the intuition to know what is the next step you should take. But it's about also not thinking in terms of maybe like what you should do, but what you want to do, what feels good to you, what makes sense to you. So I think, you know, this card really shows me that, you know, there's no wrong decision. Yeah, this is unscripted period of your life. There's more. Let me continue. Your desires are like a painting that you have created upon the canvas of your life. Like an artist, you must decide what the theme, background, and foreground will be within your picture. Take some time to meditate, pray upon, and contemplate this important decision. Be creative and maintain standards for yourself. But remember, if you don't make a decision, that's the same thing as deciding that everything shall remain the same. All right. So what do you desire right now? Visualize it, and it will come about. Negativity will block your progress. Oh, I'm getting the chills right now, guys. I'm getting the chills. With this card. And I think with tarot, you know, like, again, what as I'm picking a card just now, I like the doubt, like, oh, would this work? It's just like just some bullshit. Like, but with tarot, for me, it's like, it's about like, just, hey, have faith. Because in the book it talks about every card you picked, every card that comes out, it came out for a reason. So just having that faith, and every time you enter that mindset, you know, all the time, you know, it's the right card that pops up. So I'm not like an expert at this, but for me, that has been working. All right. Oh, and one thing you can do also is to, I guess, like, bring the card onto like the candle, and apparently that helps get rid of like the old energy there, and you can do a little like smack. You know, usually you do it at the start of the tarot session, which I did, but still fine. We still got the result, I guess. Not result, we still had a good experience. So thank you, angels, for a wonderful high vibe message. Right, get yourself a little deck, link below. Not joking, I don't have that affiliation right now. But anyways, let me see, is anything I want to say? I don't know if I'm going to make another podcast episode before I leave this room. Maybe, maybe not, but hey, this is my room right now. Got the vision board right there. Got the whiteboard right there. $1 million starts from the idea into the board and into action. Yeah, so that's, oh yeah, guys, I got a new bed. Right now it's a little bit messy, but it's a futon bed, so it's not your traditional your traditional beds. And yo, I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna launch that on my YouTube channel, so it'll be coming out, you know, in a few weeks, so you can check that out. So far, I really like a futon bed. It's really better for my back. I actually grew 1 inch taller. I think I didn't grow 1 inch taller. I'm always that tall, but because my back issue, I slouch, and you know, at the day I'm taller, but by the end of the night, you know, I'm shorter because, you know, my back has to compensate for that. But right now with the futon, I actually can just stand up straighter throughout my whole day, so I'm taller. So yeah. Anyhow, that's 1 hour of just me talking. Crazy. So that's just the juice that I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Like I said, if you like this podcast, please share it to a friend, share it to a homie. It really helps the podcast out. Review us on iTunes. What else you can do? Yeah, also check out our YouTube channel. You know, if you're watching on this YouTube, consider subscribing. It helps a lot. Leave a comment what juice you like. And obviously, if you want to experience coaching with me, you can sign up for a free 2-hour deep dive session where I'm just there to see, you know, what are some of your problems, really understand, get a full picture of all of the different categories of your life. And then what we'll do is see, you know, if we're a good fit, come up with a nice coaching plan for you, and yeah, go from there. So yeah, shout out to my clients. You know who you are. Thank you for having that trust in me and allowing me to do what I love to do. And yeah, just want to wrap this up with, you know, maybe a little bit of like a nice meditation where we are just thinking about what we're grateful for. All right, so hey, I'm just gonna close my eyes, take a nice deep breath, one more nice deep breath, and then for the next maybe 30-40 seconds, what I'll do is I'll just think about the things I'm grateful for in my mind. Whenever you're ready, feel free to come back. Grateful for you as well. Thanks for watching. Love and peace. MC Chak out. This is the official Conscious Conversation. I believe we're episode 8. Let me just double check that. Give me a second. Yeah, I believe we're episode... See, with this episode, I feel very relaxed. I feel very chill. There's no rush, you know? Like, you guys just chilling with me. We're just having a good time. Oh, this is episode 9. My bad. That's why we double check things. So, thank you so much, divine beings, beautiful ones, for this Conscious Conversations solo episode, the second solo episode. And this is officially a wrap. Much love and peace. Episode 9 out. Bye.